Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Talks. Look, we might have some people dropping in a little bit, and today we're talking about client journeys. So, hey, look, as soon as I push record, Heather walks in, of course. Hello, gorgeous.
Hey,
Hey, so
am
it's
I
funny,
super late? Wait a minute.
about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
About 5 minutes. I waited because I wanted to make sure that people got in with the tech and stuff like that. I literally just hit record like 30 seconds ago. I said, hello, 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 everybody. People are going to be popping in, and you popped in. Heather is amazing. She is a gifted oracle and one of my really good friends, Shaman. She does amazing energy work. Make sure you check her out on her Facebook page. And, she's just amazing. So today we're going to talk client journeys. So are you ready?
I am.
You're like,
I'm gonna snack while we're.
you snack.
I just kind of. My feet are swollen because like everyone needs to know that. So I just have my feet up in the air, and so my brain's not quite, with it yet.
You're beautiful. You're amazing. I'm not stressed,
Thank
not
you.
worried. Snack,
I'm
grab the
here to pay
popcorn.
attention and listen.
We're gonna go. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna ask questions. So what is your thought when you hear client journey?
Oh, what their goal is and what they've done with me throughout their time with me, like where they started and where they ended up, or where,
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Really,
growth
when you think
throughout the time with me and what we're doing, our work together.
that's actually really good. It's pretty good. When I think about client journey, I start all the way at the beginning, like from cold market, right? So people that don't know who you are and moving them all the way through your product into raving fans. So basically, before they know you to when they die, right?
Okay.
And how do we get them through all those spaces? Because they're gonna be in different spaces, obviously. And so the first place we look at, I have this beautiful all these little boxes. We're gonna fill in the boxes, have a lot of fun. It's funny. Heather is actually going through my program with me right now, and this is an update for what I already have there. So this is going to be fun for you. What I call this is the awesome warming method. You don't need to write that down, but I want to. All right, so all right, so the first place we talk about is cold market, right? These are cold people. All right, and our cold people,
They don't know me at all.
they don't really know you. They might be in your groups. They might be in your, they might be walking by. It might be a networking event. You might be, they don't know you. Okay. And the problem is that most people want to go from cold market to sale. And it like right away. And it doesn't work very well, especially when you're dealing with online people. And if you're even in person, it's kind of like walking up to somebody in a bar and saying, hey, nice boots, want to fuck? Now, will it work once in a while? Sure it will. I mean, it works. You run into those people, but very rarely does that really work, right?
Right.
So the next place we want to talk about is warm market. Actually, I call this tepid. So tepid market, okay? And really you want your cold market to go into your tepid pool. And this is somewhere that you're collecting them. If you are brick and mortar, these are people that, are walking down the street. These are people that walk in your store. Does it make sense? You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is that picked up your ad and said, oh, maybe not walked in the store yet, but picked up your ad, looked at your coupons. This is somebody that might be for online. There's somebody that's probably on your Facebook page, right? There's somebody that you've met. You might have said hi to you. You might have commented a couple times, and you're moving them somewhere. A lot of times it's your Facebook page, right? So all right. So it could be Instagram. It could be, I'm using Facebook as an example. It could be your Instagram profile. It could be your LinkedIn profile. Yeah, that's the ones I'm thinking of.
Whatever platform you're using at the time.
You're using at the time, it's not going to matter that much. So for these cold people, obviously you want them to know you, and you only want to move people one space. It always works better moving them one space. Okay, so cold, you want to go tepid. If you're doing something that's offline, they walked in your store. Or no, I'm sorry, they picked up your coupon. They saw your coupon, they're watching your ad. They said, ooh, that looks interesting. They're not necessarily even in your store yet.
They're the looky-loos.
They're looky-loos. The next thing is warm. So your warm market. Okay, these are people that have, like, if you were in a store, that's the ones that walked in your store. They're warm. They're in your store. Hey, let's go, right? They're in your store or they're outside your store. They're looking in. They're right there. They're for you online. They are collected somewhere, right? And we'll talk about a little bit of that a little bit later. About how to collect people, where to put people, how in some tech that actually help. Where to put people.
That sounds so wrong. How to collect people.
You gotta collect people,
and
we collect.
Just goes to this bizarre, weird place. We do. We collect people.
Friday. Friday. That's all I gotta say. Friday. I'm looking forward to it. So then the next place you're going to take them, right? So we're taking them from tepid to warm, right? So from your Facebook page into your group and onto your email list, somewhere where you're warming them up. Okay. Next.
This is where you're giving them more content.
You're giving them more content. Next, we're going into hot market. All right, so your warm people walked in your store, but if you own a women's clothing store and it's a guy walking in, is he probably warm market, or is he hot market, or is he just someone looking around?
Well, if he's specifically going into your store and he's a man, he's probably going to buy something if you're nice to him and help him out, because he's obviously there for a reason.
Could, right? Or he could be a pervert.
Still could buy something.
I got it. Yeah, I mean, he's not necessarily a bad person, right? The warm people aren't bad people. But the warm people aren't ready to buy. Maybe they don't have money. Maybe they're looking around and like getting inspiration. If I was walking into a Mercedes dealership today, I would be a warm market, right? Because I walked in, but I'm not necessarily hot market because I'm not necessarily looking for a Mercedes. I probably wouldn't be looking for a Mercedes. Does that make sense? So they might be in your group, but they're not really they're not really participating. They might be in your group, but they won't do the challenge. They might be in your group, but they don't respond to any questions. So they're warm market, they're there. They're seeing it. They're looking around, but they're not really engaging. All right. From hot market, we go to client. awesome, we have a client. And so client, we're going to take them through their client journey. We're going to take them from the state they're in to the state that you want them to be when they're done, right? We're going to wow them to the extra, all the good stuff, right? Finally, we want to make them a fan. Have you ever had an experience where you absolutely loved something? You bought something and you absolutely loved it and you told like 10 people, oh my God, you gotta go here. Or, oh my God, you have to listen to this person. Or, oh my goodness, have you heard this new song?
Right.
Those fans, right?
Right. Because
And
then those
this,
10 people tell 10 people. When it gets brought
Mhm.
up, they go, oh, wait, my friend knows. Like, let me get a hold of so and so. She knew a person or whatever.
Right, and it's not, and it's just natural what we do. Hey, I got a guy. I got someone. Oh, have you heard the song? There's a song out right now. I'm a Project. It's a country song. It's taken over TikTok. And just so happens I landed on one of the singers' TikToks, and he's a brand new country artist. So he's all geeked, and I'm like loving every video he posts because it's his song just went number one. You know, he's cute. His song's just went number one. You're following this journey of him like at the very beginning.
Right.
He went on CMT Top 20 this week for the first time, you know, like all these first time things, and he's like talking about it and talking about all these great things. By the way, that's getting people from your tepid to your warm, right? Now, the thing is, people can go from cold to hot.
If you rub
Doesn't
them
work.
right.
It doesn't. I'm sorry, cold to warm, not to hot. I don't want to cross anything. They could go from cold to warm. You could find them in a group. They could go into your group. You know what I mean? They're gonna be on your friends list. They might have a challenge that is in your group that makes sense, or on your list, or you might give away something that makes sense for them. You know, and so they could go into that warm pool.
I did an event
Right?
one time where I was giving away a session or something like that. I forget what it was. And I did an interview about what I did, and I actually got a client who watched, and she just goes, I love your energy, and I want to sign up for whatever it is you're doing. She didn't even know what she was signing up for. She just goes, whatever it is that you're doing, I want some of that. And I was like, okay.
I call those bleeding necks. The great thing about that, yeah, we can do that, right? We could go and we can jump this, right? We can jump it all the way to client, right?
Right.
But
It
they're
doesn't
never
happen
gonna,
very
they're
often.
never gonna go to fan. It's gonna take twice. It's gonna be twice as hard to get them from here to there. Okay. Same thing with tepid, right? The tepid people could be clients, right? They could jump. They can go from your page, you know, following you for a little bit. Now, some of the people on your page are more like warm clients, and they just haven't moved over to whatever pool you're pulling them in, right? Because they've been following you for a while. They know you, they like you, all those things. They probably have been warmed. They probably went to some of your lives. They're probably doing some things, right? So they've gone through this process without going through this process.
Right.
So they could actually go to client. The thing is, again, taking them from here to there is really going to be difficult because they don't know you well enough.
Because they didn't invest time to get to know all the things.
All the things. I've had clients that I've taken from tepid all the way through, all the way to client that didn't know enough about what I did and they got frustrated because of what I do, the process I take. Like they didn't understand what I do. So therefore, they didn't understand, no, this is a whole program. They wanted me to just go out and build stuff. And that doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't really work for you for me to do that. Right? So warm, obviously, so tepid could go here
I
or
just want to
here.
wiggle my nose.
Yeah, you know,
Wiggle my nose.
hot. Now, your hot people could be fans without buying from you.
Right.
Okay. So if people know you and know what you do, and they might have done a couple challenges with you, they might have done some stuff, and they're just not ready to buy, or they're not necessarily your market, right? But they've done all the stuff. They've been through all the levels, all the things. These guys are amazing, and we need to build more of them. Right? Now I'm doing whiteboards. This is probably only the second time in my life I've ever used a whiteboard. So please give me some comments about my whiteboarding skills. You guys can read all that, okay? Everything's all right?
I can't read anything, but it has nothing to do with your whiteboard and everything to do with my vision. But
That
I
makes
mean, I know
sense.
exactly what you're saying. It's very clear. It's a clear message.
Awesome. Thank you. So from fan, they can go back to being a client.
And probably will because they like you so much that, right?
So the more fans you build, the better your client base could be. And it's easier. It costs you 10 times more. I learned this in my restaurant work, right? It costs you 10 times more to get a new client than it does to keep an old one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So when you're doing all these things, your clients are going to be in a couple different places, right? So this is a client journey. Does that all make sense? All good? Got it all? Awesome.
I'm a bad
So
student. Was I supposed to be writing that down?
no, you actually will have a worksheet in the program that has this. And if you're
Figured.
watching this in the program, if you click the awesome warming worksheet, you have all that information. Because this is probably where that's going ultimately. If you are watching this on Facebook or somewhere else, as you see, I'm giving you exactly what I'm going to give my clients. So check it out, look at it, because I'm explaining it in a very different way than I've ever explained it before. And although this content is there, it's a little more, I'm going a little deeper than I normally have. I have in the past. So when you talk about your clients, right? Your clients are going to be in some kind of state. They're going to come to you in one state, right? So they're going to come to you with this problem. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this in smiley faces. They're going to come to you really angry, right? They are not happy. They have some kind of thing that is not working for them. For me, they're probably, trying to fix all the problems. They're not trying to create anything. They have ideas, but they're not moving forward. They are, they are, what else? What's another thing? They're tech challenged. So they're getting bogged down in all the tech. I'm not
Welcome to
talking
my
about,
world.
yeah,
He just
this is why you're
described
my
me to a
perfect,
T, by the way.
this is why you are my perfect client. Again, there are people, right? There are people, there's a reason why you're here. So, and by the way, the dogs are here, they're locked out of here and they're not happy about it. And the dog next door has been out and been barky today, which is really odd. And for some reason in this room, I can hear it like it echoes. So just know there might be some stuff.
I can barely hear it. I mean, like, I
Yeah.
can't hear your dogs at all, just for the record.
Awesome. And they might, I'm just letting it out there. So this state and your program, as they start doing your program, right? Midway through the program, they might be right? Because you're starting to do things and you're moving them from space. And you're probably not moving them from really pissed off to okay. And halfway through your program, they're going to be really pissed off again. I promise you. Because that's how things work. You start something as a human, you start something, you get up there, you start on the roller coaster, you're really excited, you're running up the hill, the first hill, and then you go down that first hill and you hit that bottom and you're trying to climb up the second hill and you're like, right? That second hill is like,
Yeah.
okay, what the hell am I into? What am I doing? Now I have to work harder. I'm actually doing the work. It's not even cool. I'm not getting all the results, a day into a program. What am I not
I wasn't
seeing?
that bad.
It's not again, not you. And I understand where you are. But this is just a normal.
I have to say though, I've been like, I'm not a nice client, so he's amazing because I threw fits and screamed and yelled at him and did all the things.
What
I'm a
happens.
rotten client.
You're not even my worst. You haven't
Oh,
even
gosh.
you don't hit my top 5.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea, like I can deal with a lot. And I understand the spaces you're in, right? One of my jobs is to walk you through that space and love you till we're done. Right? Till you're a raving fan. And I can love you in whatever state you're in. I might not like you all the time. You're
I
not
already know that. I don't like you all the time either. It's okay.
Right. And you're not supposed to. That's my job,
Right.
is to kind of challenge you and make you think. Right? So the next space, they're kind of happy, right? They're starting to get results. They're starting to get stuff going. Things are going all right. They're starting to get there, and they might fall back. Because that's what happens. You get some good results at the beginning, and then you like, oh wait, maybe that's not working anymore. Maybe that tactic isn't working. Maybe maybe Facebook changed the fucking algorithm again. Maybe, Facebook decided that they're not going to let you post in groups for a month. Your computer breaks down. Had that happen. I've had internet problems while I was on the road. All these things happen, right? So I wasn't always happy, right? I'm moving through my spaces and then I go back to here. Wait a second, okay? And then my goal is always to kind of stay in a neutral space, but sometimes that doesn't happen. All right. So after you're done, after they're through with your program, you want them to be like, oh my God, yay, right? So that they're fanning on you. Yeah, that like, oh my goodness, oh my God, oh my goodness. And I have clients that I've left here, and I've had clients I've left here, and I've had clients that actually end up being here at the end of my programs. Not necessarily my fault. And sometimes it is. I take full responsibility for the state I left them in. Right? So look, that state, and so you have to have things ready for every state they're in. Right? You have to be ready to bring them through those states so that they can be yay. And I wasn't that great at moving people through state. Always. I've gotten better through my years. I've gotten better at not just trying to give it a solution right away. Not great, not amazing. I still work on that because my first instinct is to give you a solution, because in my head, trust me when I tell you, anything you're saying out loud, I've said to myself, more than once. And so I've already come up with the solution because I've had to go through that solution, right? Because we're all humans. I didn't wake up one day and say, "Ooh, I'm a guru and I can do this all perfectly and I do it perfectly forever." No, I still have my challenges. I still have my states, right? Everybody understand state? Can I understand what's going on? All right. So I want to talk a little bit on the tech side of things. So we talked about. I know.
My kid is
We're not
trying to
gonna
call
go.
me. No, my kid's
Oh.
trying to call me, and I declined her, and she just wrote rude, laugh out loud.
I love it. I love it. All right. So let's talk for just a second. I want to put my boxes back for a second. One, and there might not be as pretty because I worked really hard on the first set.
I'm pretty not too bad.
Yeah. What you don't see is that there's dots on here, and I'm not collecting the dots at all.
I'm not supposed to say that part.
All right. So cold market. So what are some things, some tech to help with the cold market? All right. There is Facebook groups. And LinkedIn is in there also. Right? So LinkedIn and Facebook now are very similar. Anything you can do on Facebook, you can kind of do on LinkedIn. Almost all of it. There's a couple exceptions, but pick your poison.
I have a LinkedIn account. I just don't do anything with it.
I have worked a little bit more. It's one of the challenges I'm playing with. I have gotten some more. I have played with it on and off throughout the years, and it's not something that I've focused enough on to say things are great or wonderful, or it's a different strategy. So you have to really play your game, but it's still about making connections. At the end of the day, those old-fashioned network women, and I call them women because in my head, it's, it's that woman, she's, Italian Jewish, New York Italian Jew,
Did you hear?
Did you hear? Oh my God. And they're a busybody and they're great and they make all the connections and they can tell you the perfect person for everything they could possibly think of. They connect you with anybody. They know everybody. That person.
Allie's
right?
cousins, baby sisters, nephew.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right. Those people, if they can figure out how to do that online, and the ones that have figured out how to do that online are the millionaires, right? Because they're connected people. One of my favorite people in the world is Carol Boston. I'm actually surprised she's not here. And one of the great things she does is connect people. She's a connector. She's really she makes connection amazing. And so if you know how to do that connection piece, no matter where you are, it's going to work. It could be a networking event. Online networking things, I have one that I've been really great in is called Rocket Fuel. It's a really great community. I have tried a couple others that I wasn't as like, woo, let's go. But I'm also very consistent in Rocket Fuel. I'm consistent in their group. I go pretty much every month. I know people. So we've become this community. We built a community so that it's there. And that's really what I want this Tuesday Talks to be, is this conversation so we get to know each other. We get to know what everyone's working on, what it is that you want from the community, and so that we can actually support each other and build each other up. So that's what this is all about. And learn something. I have topics because I think we can all learn, right? So Facebook groups, networking events, it could be giving somebody your information. I never suggest having business cards.
I don't care what you say. I'm doing it.
I got it. And there's a reason, though, because people take a business card and they put it in wherever they put it. You know, depending if they're a guy or a girl. If they're a guy, they put it in their pocket. The pocket gets emptied onto the dresser. The dresser, they look at this like 2 weeks later and like what's this? And maybe throw in their Rolodex and maybe throw it away, right? And it's been proven time and time and again. This is what happens. Okay, unless you've actually had a conversation and you've really had this like connection and they want that information. But really, what's better is, hey, a better statement would be, hey, I ran out of business cards. Hey, I ran out of business cards, but here, take down my number. Here, let me text you my number. Let me text you the information. Then you got their number, so you can follow up, right? And they got your information. A little sneaky. A little slicky. Hey, cool. All right. Is it cool if I follow up with you, on Tuesday? What time's better for you, day or night? Afternoons, evenings, mornings, afternoons, whatever game you're playing that day. Right? All right. So then you're into your base level, right? Your base level would be a Facebook wall. All right. Facebook still, even with all the changes they're making with pages, so fan pages, they are still not effective. They're getting better. You might want to start unless you're not really, they're still, unless you're selling physical products and putting them in your store, they're really not worth anything.
Are you talking about professional pages or?
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I have one only so that no one else had Living Oracle Wellness. I don't post anything on it at all because there's nothing to really post in there. I get reviews. I get a view every once in a while.
yeah, I mean, it's not that you can't have
Should have
one.
a
Just
pinned post in there that says, "Go to my group, find me at my
my
group."
Or your giveaway, or a video of your webinar. Really, that could be it. My roommate's home. Yay. So that's your Facebook wall, or it could be Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. Some people are doing well on Pinterest. If you are targeting women, Pinterest might be a way to target. Just to throw that out there. I don't target women very much, and I had a Pinterest, and yeah, no, just no. Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. Then you have your group. Okay, this could also be an email list, be a WhatsApp group. It could be, what is this? Signal. It's a new one. Signal. Slack.
I've never
Where are
even
you?
heard of those.
Yeah, Slack is really big for businesses. It's become a business kind of thing, a business team kind of cool thing. And then, and that happened a couple years ago. Signal is, I want to say it's because of right wingers, but I have a lot of friends that are using it because it's supposedly more encrypted and blah, 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 and it's not Facebook. WhatsApp is super encrypted, but it's still Meta. So if you're trying to get away from Facebook, they might not want to move to WhatsApp, although they probably have a WhatsApp. So one of the things that I think about all the time is, do I want to force them to download something else? Or how easy is it for them to do? Are they going to really check it? right? I found that for me, the Signal, because I have a community for the intentional space in Detroit, they use Signal. That's how I actually even heard about it. And I find myself checking it. So that's why I'm even putting it there. I've had WhatsApp stuff that I've hated and didn't check. So it really does depend on if they're actually committed to being there or not. Right? And if you move them to another program, keep it consistent. Okay, so if your warming system is in Slack, let's say, right? Then your program, when they communicate with you, should be in Slack. Hey, we were talking about you just a minute ago, Miss Carol. How are you?
I'm pretty good, and you?
I'm fantastic, fantastic. Welcome, welcome. We are talking about
My ears weren't burning, so you must have been saying good stuff.
saying
He
all
was.
kinds of good stuff.
All
Yeah,
good stuff.
you know you're one of my favorite people. I was talking about you and connecting people, how you connect everybody, and how you're a connector. You're one of the networking queens.
Working fiend, maybe.
So we had gone through. So I want you to watch the replay. We're gonna post this in the group afterwards. I
Yeah.
do want you to watch the replay because we walked through client journey and some tips on some of the things that why you wanted to move in this kind of way, right? So we're talking about tech for client journeys, right? So we have our cold market. Our cold market, we're gonna find them probably in LinkedIn, on our in Facebook groups. We might find them in LinkedIn. The only idea for your cold market is to bring them one space, which is into your circle, right? Into on your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page, wherever you're doing Instagram, whatever you're focusing on. And none of these are wrong, right? And it could be all these. We have them all over the place, depending on if you're changing up your content. Personally, put them somewhere, make them happy. I share my content into a lot of different places. So, and I reuse content. I don't make separate content for Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and you know what I mean? For the most part, a little bit with YouTube. For a while, the YouTube channel got certain things that nothing else did, but for the most part, it flows all the way through. Next is your group. This is the perfect, your collected, your warming space, right? That could be a group, that could be an email list, that could be a WhatsApp group, it could be Slack, it could be Signal group. Signal's a new program that's kind of out there. And like I said, I've been finding myself on Signal a lot lately because of the intentional community. My only suggestion is, though, if you move them into something like, if you're on Facebook for your group, keep the Facebook Messenger or another Facebook group for your program. If you move in a Slack or something, put a Slack group for your program. Keep them wherever you put them, keep them. That makes sense?
Okay.
Your hot market, your hot people. So the hot stuff would be challenges. So challenges are really cool in email lists. You can do them on as an email send out. You can do a challenge in your Facebook group. You can do it live there. Then you can put it into your guides. That's what they call it now. Basically, think of guides as folders in your groups. Okay. That could be your giveaway. And while you may have a giveaway to go into your group, right? There's a better giveaway it's the next level giveaway for instance, for me right now into the group, we have the live your true awesome life now, no matter what the circumstances. Whereas I would do a challenge, or I could give away my 10 mini reboots book, or I could give away a call with me. I mean, really, like that could be the giveaway for a hot market. Like, hey, let's do a one-on-one call. Whatever she's barking at, I want to go and like stab her. So I want to
Well,
apologize.
I noticed that both of you guys are now off camera, but I can hear you much more clearly. There's no delay. I didn't know if you both took yourself off camera at the same time or if it was my computer.
I think that's you because I'm seeing all three of
I was
you.
gonna say that's you. I don't
that
see her
interesting?
at all,
Both of
though,
y'all-
normally. I mean,
Both of y'all went off camera at the same time, and I thought, this is interesting, but I can hear you better. There's no delay now, so maybe my computer's doing something to help me.
It's time for a Windows update. That's why I always found out when my computer started playing games, it was a Windows update. All right, so from hot market. So from your warm market, we want them to go to hot market. From hot market, you want them to go to client. Okay, so client stuff, where you would, depending on your program, right? So are you doing videos? Are you doing like a video thing with a group call? So some of the things that work for that, Zoom. I use Zoho One for pretty much everything. So that has things. It could be email list. It could be email based. I don't suggest it. It could be. It could be Kajabi, ClickFunnels. They're expensive. There's a reason why I picked Zoho One. If you have a question on technology before you start doing that, please message me and I'll give you an explanation why. And save you hundreds of dollars a month. So your client stuff, Kajabi. There's a couple really good ones out there, and I can't even think. ClickFunnels works. Teachify is another one.
oh,
Okay.
What's it called? Patreon.
Patreon would be somewhere you can collect people. Yep. If you were doing something video based, could definitely use Patreon because that's a really great collection kind of thing. Right. And
Go
finally,
slap the dog.
what?
Just go smack the dog.
Give me 2 seconds.
Just
Let me mute.
Maybe just bring the dog in the room. Maybe it just wants to be a part of the group.
No, there's somebody outside. So my next door neighbor is going back and forth. One of the neighbors next door is moving. So she likes to go into the window and bark at the neighbor. But literally, the neighbor's next door moving, doesn't care about what she's doing. She's inside and she's just going crazy. All right. So then you get your raving fans. So what can you do for your raving fans? Right?
You turn raving fans into clients because I have raving fans and not enough clients.
So we talked about that actually. So they probably came from over here, and you don't necessarily want them to. Now it's great when they can because they can go back and forth, right? But you don't necessarily want your raving fans to be clients because if they're raving fans and they're doing great things, right? Because right now, I could be one of your clients. You're amazing, but I'm a raving fan, right? I'm working on a different program, so I'm a raving fan for you. I talk about you all the time. I'm a hot
You're equating
market.
raving fan to cheerleader. Or you're equating raving
Yep.
fan to cheerleader. Okay, that makes more sense. I understand. Yep.
Yep. it's a cheerleader. They are somebody that's they're a support. They're amazing. You don't necessarily want them to be a client. They could be a client. Don't get me wrong. They can come from a client. They could go back to a client. There's no problem there. But how are you going? What can you do with them? So you definitely want them to be on an email list or a group. Probably an email list though. You want to send them things. What can you send them? If they can be tangible, it's better. So someone that does a really good job with their fans, like a really amazing job with their fans, like is the people at Unleash You. Okay. As a matter of fact, so I went to one of their events, and they give out great swag. First one is the Unleash You bottle. Like there is not a time when I don't have an Unleash You something somewhere in my vision, right? I have a backpack. They give away this amazing backpack. They give away a T-shirt. Right.
I got this and an amazing bottle and a couple other things from one of the events. Ken Krell's event was amazing. I use this every day.
Yeah. Just what is it that you can have that doesn't necessarily cost all that much that you could have that they would rave about? You know, if you look at Make Your Favor stuff or anyone from the Unleash You team, they have branded blue and green hearts. Okay. So when they post stuff, a lot of times you'll just see blue and green hearts on it. And that just means I'm with you, whatever. Right. And they've made this such a brand that you see it all over the place. And people like me, for instance, who I've been to events, I'm part of the community. I'll get stuff that has blue and green hearts on it because it just happened. Right. Maybe there's an emoji you can brand. Like that's just you, like a sequence of emoji. Right? So that when people see it, it starts just building that brand.
Oh, like I always say, gorgeous beings, and then I put a crown and a heart.
Crown and a heart. It could be a crown and a heart. Right? All right, guys, show me your crowns. All right, folks, give me a fairy. Mine's always the fairy guy. I like the little fairy guy. He's kind of cool. And I use him a lot, you know. But there's a guy and a girl fairy. I use the guy fairy. I think actually our emoji on both of your guys' chat is the fairy. So it's my favorite. So if you guys,
that creates a thought for me about finding something inexpensive to send to all my past clients, right? And then follow up with a phone call to get referrals, see how they're doing.
Just hey, I love you, and I just want to check up on you. And what is it that I can do for you today? How can I help you today? What is it that I can do? You know, and it's not about even getting them back as a client. It's about getting them back as a fan. How can we make them talk about you?
People love stickers, by the way. I know that sounds like crazy, but it's inexpensive. You can get a lot of them made and with your logo on them, and people will stick them everywhere.
Well, you could do cocktail of the month. You can have a card. You can literally make a recipe card with a recipe on it because you talk about food and. Yep.
Yeah, recipe of the month. That would be great.
Hey, or maybe it's a small, a couple recipes. Maybe it is 12 different recipes. Maybe it's a little itty bitty book. Maybe it's it could be a PDF. I mean, I prefer something tactile, but it could be. It could be a cool little T-shirt for you. I see this like T-shirt of you of a big, huge like cocktail glass, and that says, cheers. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
That's
it could
right.
be, um, I'm a gorgeous being.
I'm a
Big
gorgeous
t-shirts.
what?
I
Heather
call
always,
everyone gorgeous beings.
Oh,
or Heather says I'm a gorgeous being. Or actually, what would be cool is Heather says I'm a gorgeous being. F you.
Other people's opinions of you are none of your business.
Right.
that's right.
Yeah. But having that tangible is helpful, and having it something, you know, a coffee cup is really good. A cocktail glass, maybe it's a shot
Yep.
glass for you. That would actually be easy, and you know,
Oh
and
yeah, a shot glass with my logo.
or a shaker.
Yep.
I can't wait for the cocktail show to come back. I'm so excited. I am like patiently waiting. We've been talking about it for a couple months now. I'm like, come on, cocktails. So having them, what can you do? You know, maybe it's a postcard. It could just be a postcard. It could be just a call. It could be just a reach out. It could be, you know, how are you connecting with them? It could be a happy birthday card. Facebook makes this really super easy for you, right? So I had talked about this a long time ago, and I did it for a few months and did it and stopped for some reason. And I really, now that I'm thinking about this again, I really need to bring that back. Go and buy a case of birthday cards. You can get them printed with your logo if you really want to, but you can go to the dollar store and pick up a case, right? No one's gonna care.
Yep.
Go in, hey, hope you have a happy birthday, right? And just like fill them all out, all in advance. Sit down one day and cramp your hands. 2 days, cramp your hands, and then go into your Facebook feed. And if you go under events, it will tell you who has a birthday this month on your friends page. So maybe you go in and, hey, I got something for your birthday. Can I send you something? What's your address? I want to send you something for your birthday. Oh my goodness, really? No one sends snail mail anymore. And
I
just a
know.
little,
I got a card in the mail today from my best friend out of Louisiana, Janice. She's my friend in Baton Rouge, and I love getting snail mail. And she remembers.
I
It
do
just
too.
says, wait, where's my glasses? Hold on. It says, if not for you, someone who needed love would have gone without it. There would be one less smile, one less laugh, one less hug, and the song of life might have skipped a beat if not for you. Something special would be missing. I mean, it's like, oh, it's awesome.
my
Awesome.
friend Faith, um, she's one of those amazing people that was always one of those amazing people. She's a networking queen. She knows everybody. She throws great parties. She's just one of those people, right? One of those amazing people. And I think that you either have that or you don't. Like, it's really hard to learn that whole thing. But one of the things she always does is she has stamps. And a lot of times she'll just go and like buy blank cards and have a stamp that says whatever. Love Faith.
Mm,
Happy birthday, love Faith. You know what I mean? So I have 5 different stamps and whatever with pretty cards. So
that's
just
a cool idea too.
easy, what is it that you can do to create that, right? And they can be from hot markets. So I would really focus in this area, the hot markets, not necessarily here, right? Or even a little bit maybe here, but I would go people that are interacting with you. You don't necessarily want the ones that are not, the people that are kind of in between here, that might be here-ish, maybe. So what can that hell, if I was thinking about working with you and you sent me a birthday card, and it wasn't a money issue, if it was just a like, I'm not ready yet, might send me over.
Sure.
Or at least make me
Yep.
talk about you. Oh my God, I don't believe this. Carol just sent me this really cool, this really cool card. And then you're like, oh yeah, I just really wanted you to know that I care about you. Which is true. We do care about our people. And sometimes it's really hard, especially when you're dealing with Facebook, especially when you're dealing with, the multitude. I have over 1,000 people that I follow on Facebook, right? Not to mention who follows me, but I have 1,000 that I follow.
Right.
So what does that look like? Right? If I sent 1,000 cards, yeah, there's a few that I keep up with. 3 of them I met in Carol's cocktail corner.
Sounds fun.
So it hurt.
It's so fun. Oh my God.
Carol's show on Monday. It's first thing in the morning on Monday for you, so it's 9 a.m. Carol does, as of now, she's still at noon. I don't know if she's changing that, but she does a show, Carol's Confidence Quarter. And it's not quite
Courage
as
to Confidence Corner.
Courage to Confidence.
Courage.
Not quite as connective as the cocktail hour, because the cocktail hour was a little more social. This one's a little more serious,
Yes.
but she's still very social and she's still a connector. So it's just what she does in general. So she can't help herself.
Exactly. I can't show up and just talk about business. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
Right. Right. And it's fun. So you guys kind of got an idea of how that works and how that goes. Like I said, people can jump one. The idea is to go in order, right? That's your ideal client. They're going to work all the way through the process. They're going to be fans because they've worked through your process.
You want to build a relationship with them, and you don't go from meeting someone at the bar to sleeping with them and expect the connection to stay. It happens once in a blue moon, but 9 times out of 10 it does not. You have to get to know each other, and
it's not going to last. They're going to drop out of your program. A lot of times, even if they do buy, they drop out. They're the ones that don't end up not being committed. They're the ones that end up, or they're the problem children. The problem children, the ones that you are not one of my problem children. I know you think you are, but you're not. You're not even close to my problem children. They're going to be a problem child for you. So guys, if you want the worksheet that will go through this a little bit, let me know. I will make sure that you get it. Just put wherever you see this at. Let me know. If you are inside the program, the True Awesome Life Freedom System program, it will be in your handouts. So you can get it there. If you're seeing this on Facebook, over in the Freedom Entrepreneurs United community, I will probably have it somewhere, or you can just message me if I don't. And if you're on YouTube,
Where can I go back and watch the replay?
You'll be able to see this in the Freedom Entrepreneurs United community. And I'll send you and Carol, I'll send you the link.
Thank you.
Let me see it.
all right, I gotta jump off of here.
That's my thought.
Bug me.
I love you. Yeah, my dogs have been crazy this whole time.
Yeah,
I love you
guys.
both.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. And next Tuesday,
thank you.
We'll have a new topic. We're gonna have another topic. We're gonna have some fun and talking. And like I said, the whole idea behind these every Tuesday is just to have a topic to talk about. Sometimes I might have something like this where I'm drawing out and I have a really, and sometimes like last week, I was literally just asking for information because we were talking about connection online, and I know that I hate when people get my DMs. So how do you want to communicate online? What is your online love language?
That's one of my like I'm almost guaranteed to not work with you if you've never interacted on my Facebook with me at all, and then hit me up in my DMs and be like, "Hey, do you want this?" Or you look so interesting to me, but they have no idea what I do. Tell me more about your business. Well, if you paid attention to anything on my page, you would know about my business. I'm guaranteed to not work with you at that point. And 9 times
Yeah.
out of 10, I will unfriend you and be done because there's no
Yeah,
warm up.
I sometimes, when people ask me to connect, and sometimes they'll actually send me a message in Messenger first. Hey, so glad we're connected. And I'm like, I don't know you. And then I go and they've invited me to connect, right? And then I go back and I say, well, what compelled you to want to connect with me?
Yeah.
I just ask them.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes they can't come up with anything, and it's just all bullshit. And I'm like, I don't friend them because they wanted to sell me something.
Uh-huh. And I definitely, I'm one of those people
I promise
that,
if they friend request me and if I go to their profile, I know this is like totally horrible, but if I go to their profile and the first thing they say is, I help women entrepreneurs make X amount of money, I automatically decline that friend request.
that's me
Yeah, I
legit.
do. Because I'm like, I have 40 of you on my page and I'm not getting anywhere with any of you anyway. And so they're like, I don't know what's going on with you anyway. So I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right. I love you
What?
guys. I'm out of here.
Love you.
Have
All
a
right,
great
good.
evening.
I'll see you guys next
Um,
Tuesday.
The working crew's leaving on a space detail.
This state of zero gravity